Hello everyone, welcome to SpeakIn podcast. I'm Efaz, Chief Business Officer at SpeakIn. SpeakIn is Asia's largest digital learning platform for digital learning via one-on-one coaching and group learning sessions. Today it's my honor and privilege to be joined by a guest, Bruno Calabretta. Bruno is a strategic planning and business development expert with a background in biomedical engineering. He is the founder of Aurora Coaching and holistic entrepreneur. He specializes in coaching and advising individuals and business on blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and digital innovations. He is passionate about helping his clients overcome challenges and achieve success in their rapid evolving field. He also offers personalized marketing strategy, competitor analysis, and guidance on navigating the world of blockchain and crypto. With his knowledge and experience, Bruno aims to demystify these technologies and empower individuals to leverage their larger potential. So today we are here, Bruno's journey, his experience, successes, and challenges. Let's welcome Bruno.
Thank
Bruno,
you so much for having me.
yeah, I have a list of questions, and the first question that I have, it is actually a very interesting one. I was looking at your background, so I just want to know that this whole new world of blockchain and cryptocurrency. What sparked your interest, in these domain, and how did your transition from being a biomedical engineer and something very technical to something extremely different? How did that transition happen?
That's a nice question. Okay, so as you said, my background, I'm a biomedical engineer, and I've been working for many years with the biggest pharmaceuticals in the world. So what I was doing before was something that was very similar to what blockchain is doing, because I was involved in a process called serialization that has the goal of track and trace drugs from the moment they are created until you have them in your hand. And every drug was identified with a unique code. So it was a concept very similar to the one of blockchain. So blockchain has always been, a side interest for me, especially from the technical point of view, because as an engineer, I am a little bit of a nerd. So I was more interested in it for the technology that lies behind and not for the speculation point of view. But what really excited me about this world was the fact that I really believe that blockchain, it can be, the game changer in our society. Because as you can see, in our society, we have a big problem. We have a lack of trust. And this is bringing a lot of inequality in our world. And I truly believe that blockchain is going to fix this issue, and it's going to really improve the way that we live, communicate, and work with each other. So why I quit my previous job? I was living in the US, based in New York, and pushed by the American dream to follow your dreams and your passion and be happy. At some point, I decided to quit everything and to bet everything on myself. So a side passion became my principal passion. So because of this, I dig deep into the world of blockchain. I'm already involved. I was involved in this space already since 2018 when I bought Bitcoin as a joke with a friend. And from there, in the moment you make an investment, you want to know more about what you're doing. Because when I bought, I had no idea what was Bitcoin. I just bought it as a joke. I had some money aside and I didn't know what to do with that. So I decided, okay, let's do this investment. I was really trusting this friend of mine. And thank God I did. I still own those Bitcoins. I never sold them. So I'm here for the long run. I hope this is going to be my pension in some years. And because I was already involved in this space for many years, I had already a lot of knowledge on how this technology works and what are all the features that are part of this ecosystem. And, from there, because of my technical background, for me was easy to approach this blockchain space and understanding it. And I started, to provide consultancy and suggestion and advisory to project Web2 companies that wanted to switch in Web3, but even startups that were involved in the Web3 space and they wanted, to improve their game, to put the skin in the game, as they say. And, it's been a really exciting journey for me until now because I'm more happy than ever and I'm doing something that really excites me every day.
Lovely to hear that, and I could relate to your conversation how you got introduced. So even a friend of mine kind of told me long back. I'm talking about 2008 or 9. I think Bitcoin was hardly anything back then.
Nice.
The difference is I didn't trust him. I said I don't want to burn my money because there was so much of a confusion around it, and I think it today as well it exists. A lot of people say I'm into crypto, but you ask them two follow-up questions. Okay, what is it and how does it work? How this is going to make impact? They don't know, and I think that's the gap to be filled. And with these new
I know.
buzzwords that we have these days, we have chat gpt has been the buzzword around, and a lot of people kind of know what it is, but they don't know how to kind of use it, implement it. So great to
We are
hear.
still at the early stage. We are still scratching the surface.
Absolutely, but I do believe that blockchain is gonna revolutionize. It has already, as in the implementation part is in the underway, and I think it's gonna the word 10 years from now is gonna be absolutely different in whatever field that we talk about. So great
True.
perspective. My next question to you is: so, in your opinion, Bruno, how has the concept of leadership evolved in this digital age? Because it's a different age that we live in right now. There was an information age, and now it's a tech digital age where we are talking about AI, cryptos, and how these are gonna make some kind of an impact. So, what are the new challenges and opportunities? This digital age kind of brings in, as in, what's your opinion on that?
So if you think, leadership is something that everybody wants to be a leader, like everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, so they want to be the leader of themselves. Technology advancement. So before a leader was someone that you were just following and trusting it and do whatever those leaders were doing. But today, with this such advancement in technology, it's very easy to spot if there are, let's say, bug in the system, if there are problems in the way, a leader is behaving, if it is behaving for the community, or if they're behaving just for themselves and for their own success. So I think that today it's better to define a leader as someone that is providing values to others, that is really helping, that is really, making a change with his work. Not to just to say, I'm a leader and I'm working for myself. No, I'm a leader, I'm working for myself, but I'm doing it for improving the environment that is surrounding me, not only for myself, but for everyone. I believe that what has made a big change in this Web3 ecosystem is the fact that there is a more vibrant and dynamic community. So this means that people are more connected. People feel distinct, that they are empowered by others, and they can, emulate what others are doing and find a new solution. So that's why I believe that for being a good leader, you need to really be able, to provide value to others and not only to yourself. So always try to help, always try to support, always try to make others accomplish their dreams and realize what are their perspective for the long run. Because at the end, it's all about this. If you want to be a leader, you want to be someone that is like recognized, yes, for his experience, for his endeavors, for what he has accomplished, but at the same time also for the kind of person that you are. If you see, the new leaders of today are the leaders that are able to really make a change, that are really contributing to make the society a better place. Like for me, for example, like one of the leaders that I love the most is Elon Musk. Like a lot of people might hate him or say that he's a punk, or that he's not doing things in the right way. But at the end, if you see, everything that he's doing, it has a goal, like to improve in one way or another our society. Tesla is for making the world a cleaner space. And the acquisition now of Twitter, even if it has been debated by a lot of people, at the end is a way, for creating a platform where you don't have censorship, where people, can be free to express their opinion without knowing, without feeling that there is a government behind that is controlling everything. Or a Neuralink with the possibility, of creating of having a chip that might give you an additional knowledge that you wouldn't be able to store at the moment. Or even like SpaceX, the possibility of going to Mars. This is the dream of humans since the ancient times, since the time of Icarus that was flying too close to the sun. So, it's all about, providing dreams to others and make them feel that this dream can be accomplished, that nothing is impossible, and that really sky is the limit.
Absolutely. I think all the sci-fi movies that we saw, he's kind of making that happen, in some way or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are there.
I think everybody, I don't know, anybody who was into crypto, everybody was loving him. Elon Musk, especially when every time he used to tweet on Dogecoin, I made a lot of money, every time that tweet
We
used to,
all did.
can't forget that time. All right. Great to hear that. So the next question is, so you mentioned about, leadership, right? And I think one of the quality or one of the traits I must say is embracing change, right? That's a big aspect to leadership, right? And so what are the three piece of advice that you would like to give to the leaders of today, right, to on the embracing part? Because what I have noticed that a lot of people are still in two minds, right? There are different myths around it, right? And a lot of people don't want to change, right? Because they don't understand, maybe they don't understand it, or maybe they're too insecure about it. So when it comes to new technology, right, what are your piece of advice to leaders on the part of embracing change?
So first of all, study, understand what you are dealing with, be the expert of it, spend thousands of hours in researching, understanding, making sure that you understood the concept and you're able to explain it to a 5 years old. This is like the most important thing when we talk about change. You cannot be a leader in something if you don't know what you are leading to. As you said before, there is a lot of people that are in crypto, but then when you talk with them and ask them, what is crypto? What is he doing? Most of the time, they don't know what it is. They just are in because of the speculation, because of the dream of becoming rich overnight. But instead, there is so much behind it. There is the possibility of change forever. And another suggestion that I want to give, another couple of suggestions is, first of all, success is not linear. So this means that it's not that you start and tomorrow you're going to be successful. It's parabolic. It's going to take time before you arrive to the final destination. And it might be that your final destination might change along the way many times, not just one, many times. So because of this, my biggest suggestion is try to be the better version of yourself that you were yesterday. So try every day to improve yourself a little bit. There is this book that I've read recently that is called Atomic Habits, that is saying, try to improve yourself every day 1% more. Don't expect, to do huge change, 90%, to become, the better person overnight. Try to do every day a little bit of improvement. Every day, try to be a better person. Try to establish some kind of habits that are going to make yourself a better person, so that in this way you can inspire others to do the same things that you are doing. Because at the end, our body, our mind, they are, wired to be programmed, to be changed, to be, customized according to what is that is good for us and what is that, it can make us better person. So every day, try to be better, a little bit at the time. And you will see that even in the short run, you are going to see huge improvement about yourself.
Absolutely. Even I picked up that book, but the audio one. So I just realized audiobooks are a disaster. You tend to sleep after a point in time. But
I'm still old school. I love books too much. I love to read them. I'm not able to read on a Kindle or an iPad. When I have something, or I print it, or I have to have the paper copy.
Absolutely. I think that's the best old school. Otherwise, even on the screen, because we look at screens so much, there's so much of a consumption of screen.
And we become blind.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I have just a couple of more questions. So my next question is again in line to that. Like, what are the three biggest misconception or myths that you would like to burst around cryptocurrencies and blockchain? And probably how do you address them in your coaching and speaking engagements? Your thoughts on that?
Okay, so there are a couple of things that a lot of people are mistaken, that are making mistake about, and this is also because of the media and the wrong message that they send, because most of the time who talks about crypto in the media has no idea what they're talking about. The first thing is, always remember that a blockchain is not an exchange. So if an exchange is failing or an exchange is having problem, an exchange is being hacked, an exchange is being, going into bankrupt, this doesn't mean that the blockchain is failing. Remember that the blockchain is a decentralized environment that is relying on a network of computer, peer-to-peer, validator, call it as you want, nodes that are making sure that there is no central authority that is controlling what is happening. Well, instead, when we talk of an exchange, this is just a platform that you use for exchanging coin and token with fiat currency. So a place where you can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, ICP, whatever it is, and you can change them into fiat or from fiat to coin. But remember, exchanges are not a bank. Otherwise, we are always going back to the same problem, because why Bitcoin was created? For creating a change in the traditional financial system after the bubble of 2008 that was proved, that was created by the bank system, by the traditional system, that was not working in the interest of the people. So again, a lack of trust. We don't want to trust anymore a third party. So now you are the owner of the cryptocurrency that you buy. So it's very important that you don't use an exchange as a bank. You buy crypto, you buy token, you buy coin, then you transfer them to a cold wallet that you only have access to it. So self-custody. So now you are the bank. You are the one that is taking care of your money. You don't need to rely on somebody else. And if you don't want to do it, guys, this world is not for everyone. My grandma doesn't trust the bank system. She still keeps the money in the pillow, in the mattress. So it's a generational thing. If you don't want to embrace it, don't go beyond it. Just stick to the old way. You believe in bank, you trust the bank system, you trust your middleman, your third party, go for it. When they're going to fail, it's up to you because you took this decision. But for those that are feeling that a change is needed, remember, a blockchain is not an exchange. When FTX collapsed, my mother was calling me, was like, Bruno, the blockchain failed. It's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, everybody's talking about this FTX that has collapsed, that the blockchain world is in panic. I was like, Ma, blockchain is one thing, the exchange is on another. And again, who lost their money? Those that were keeping their money on the exchange. Then another, I think, a little piece of advice about this world is that, cryptocurrency are digital money. So they are not created to be smelled, to be tasted, to be touched. They are created to be digital. So remove this concept from your head that you want to feel it, you want to touch it like you feel the cash. No, you cannot do it. And this is another thing that people need to adjust to this concept, because all the monetary problem, it's understanding how it works. And one thing I want to say is think of fiat money, like the dollar, the euro. Central bank can print as many as they want. So this means that this is an inflationary asset, that in the long term, its value is going to decrease. When we talk of cryptocurrency, like, for example, Bitcoin is a deflationary asset. There are only 21 million coins that are going to be printed. We are at 19 million at the moment. In the moment we reach the next 3 million that are missing, that's it. There are no more Bitcoin that are going to be printed. So this means that the value can only increase in time because it's a scarce asset. Ethereum is a little bit different because it has like an infinite supply, let's call it like this. But now they implemented a new system that is making sure that every time like transaction fees are paid, a certain amount of coin are also burned at the same time. And at the moment also Ethereum has become a deflationary asset. I think that the latest rate is like they are deflationary for like 2% a year, something like this for how many coins they are burning according to the transaction that are happening. With burning means that these coins don't exist anymore. So they are deleting them from the system. And then maybe the last thing about metaverse, that is something that, everybody talk about, especially now with the new Apple Vision that came out. It's something that, the metaverse is something that still people are not able to define what it is, because still we don't have the technology available to say this is going to be the metaverse. There are going to be a lot of metaverse, very probably. So a lot of different ecosystems where a lot of things can happen, where you can be whoever you want, you can do whatever you want. But at the same time, there are still a lot of things that need to change. Again, we are scratching the surface. I believe that at the moment, the metaverse doesn't exist. Maybe there are a lot of metaverse where you can do a lot of things, but a real metaverse, if you think it doesn't exist, why? Because like the three main properties that a metaverse should have is that it should be always online. So it shouldn't rely on server that if somebody is unplugging them, is not working anymore. It should allow to millions of people to connect at the same time. And this is something that still we are not able to achieve, because in the moment you have more than 20,000, 100,000 people trying to connect, the server are crashing. And then the third one is that you need to have an environment that is able to replicate a real life experience as close as possible. Because otherwise people, as Elon is saying, 10 years ago, they were telling us to don't stand to stay like 2 meters away from the television when we were watching it. And now instead we are putting the television in front of our eyes. So we need to understand how the technology will evolve before changing it. And I think that the new Apple Vision device probably is going to make a change because of all the augmented reality and virtual reality tools that they have. So let's say these are my three demystification that I would like to make about this environment.
I was about to ask you on metaverse, when you were talking about that you can't really touch and feel your currency. Maybe metaverse can give you that kind of experience where you can touch your digital currency. Maybe that's
might be. Look, one of the when I did my bachelor degree, the dissertation that I made was for creating a gloves that had like some haptic sensor on each one of your finger, so that every time that you were interacting with an object that was not existing, that was like in a virtual environment, like I created a 3D environment where you had like object that you can touch and you could change the shape. Like this was a device created for like doing rehabilitation in the hospital, that instead of using a real rehabilitator, you could do the rehabilitation at home, and the doctor could check what were your progress. And the thing was that like if you had a ball, like a sphere that you had to press, you could feel this feeling in your hand because of the actuator that were positioned on the gloves. So this is something that of course it can happen. Probably you are going to have to wear an entire suit, but it's something that it's possible.
Yeah, like in Indian weddings, I don't know, people throw these money on the bride and groom. So maybe in the metaverse, if wedding happens, people will throw Ethereums and probably Bitcoins or any other currency for that matter. Could be quite to happen. All right. So my one last question, Bruno, is what keeps you busy these days? What latest projects are you working on?
Thank you so much for this question. So right now, I started a new project. I'm working with a layer 1 blockchain. It's Internet Computer Protocol. This layer 1 is in the top 30 for market cap, and they have a revolutionary technology that I think is going to change completely the way that we approach to Web3 and crypto, because of the paradigm that they are changing. Like, for example, they are the greenest blockchain at the moment. One transaction on ICP is 4 times cheaper than a research on Google in terms also of energy. Then we have, for example, the reverse gas fee model. So this meaning that, when you use a decentralized app on Ethereum, every time you need to pay a transaction fee for every action that you performed. On ICP, there is a model that is called reverse gas fee model. That means that you users that are using a decentralized application don't have to hold any crypto for interacting with that application. So this means that you don't have to pay for interacting with the decentralized app. This is also very cool. Plus, they are the best in terms of storing data. This is another big issue that we have to face very soon. Where are we going to store all this data, and how much it's going to cost to store all this data on the blockchain? For example, for storing 1 gigabyte on data on Ethereum or Solana or Avalanche, we are talking of millions of dollars. While instead for storing 1 gigabyte of data on ICP is just $5. So we are talking of a huge difference that is going to make, developing on this blockchain much easier, but also, more interesting for the user themselves. And what I'm doing right now, especially here in Indonesia, I am the hub manager for the Internet Computer Protocol hub in Indonesia. The name is Disruptives, and we are going to become the platform for Web3 education and evangelization, but also we aim to be an incubator accelerator. So we are going to provide resources, grants, access to expert leaders, education, consulting, branding, everything that they need for bringing an idea, a project, and transform it into innovation into the Internet Computer Protocol blockchain. And I'm really excited about this project because this is something that is really going to change, I think, the way that project approach blockchain for building on their ecosystem. And my goal, and I'm doing a little bit of promotion here, if you guys are listening from Indonesia, you have a project, you have an idea, you want to develop and build on the Internet Computer Protocol ecosystem, please reach out. We have the incubation program starting very soon, and we are going to have like 3 cycles per year, a lot of events, a lot of networking, a lot of mentorship. We're going to create hackathon, ideathon, bootcamp. We have a lot that we are going to propose and we are going to make available for the people. So join us, and if you are here in Indonesia, you come to Bali, drop me a message. I would love to meet with you all.
Lovely to hear that. In fact, I would love to hear more developments on that, and maybe when I'm there in Indonesia, I would love to meet you and discuss a bit more details about it. So we
also have an ICP manager, hub manager also in India that is doing great things, a lot of collaboration with universities, with developers. So it's really like making a change and is promoting the IC ecosystem a lot. So very nice.
Lovely. All right. So thank you so much, Bruno. It was lovely interacting with you. And I think we had some good conversation around it.
Thank you so much for everything. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening.